Today I'm going to talk about the bones. In this I'm going to try to cover the function of bones, classification of bones, structure of long bone, and composition of bones. The main function of the skeletal system in the body is the first one is support and the protection. It provides structural support for the entire body. Simultaneously, it protects various vital organs such as the brain and the heart. The second one is movement, helps in the movement of the body. It is involved in a process called hemopoiesis. Hemopoiesis means it is involved in the production of formed elements of blood. Formed elements of blood means the various types of cells those are present in the blood, such as red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. These cells are produced in the red bone marrow of the bone, and the process is called hemopoiesis. So, one of the main organ of hemopoiesis. Last but not least is it acts as a storage organ for the minerals and energy reservoir. Minerals such as calcium and phosphates are stored in the bone, and the yellow bone marrow is rich in fat. So when there is a deficiency of the energy takes place, this fat will be mobilized and utilized by the body as a source of the energy. So these are some of the main functions of bones. In different way, bones can be classified. Here I am going to discuss about the classification based on the shape of the bones. The bones, if they are long, such as you find in the case of thigh muscle, thigh region, or in the hand region, the bones involved are femur and humerus. They are lengthy and width wise it is so small, so they are called long bones. The bones, if they are short and wide, then they are called short bones, such as carpals and tarsals, which you find in the hands. They are going to form a kind of bones called short bones. The third one is the flat bones. That means it is a flat in nature, such as the sternum and the ribs, scapula. They are example for flat bones. Fourth one is if the shape is not definite, you cannot assign any particular shape for the bone, then they are called irregular bones. Example, vertebrae present in the vertebral column. Usually the bone will be studied by taking the long bone. Long bone, as I told it may be humerus or the femur. They are having two types of structure. One is compact structure and another one is a spongy structure. The bone tissue is also called osseous tissue. Compact bone means it is dense, thick, and it is present in the shaft of the bone, whereas the spongy bone is porous, present on either end of the long bone. If you take the structure in detail, there is a long stem-like structure. On either head side, you find a bulbous structure. These bulbous structure are called epiphysis, and this stem-like structure is called diaphysis. Diaphysis and epiphysis connected through a structure called metaphysis. This tissue is entire bone is covered by a fibrous connective tissue called periosteum. If you take first the epiphysis, the epiphysis is spongy in nature, that is, it is porous in nature, rich in blood circulation and involved in the hemopoiesis, and we call this as a red bone marrow. At one end you find cartilaginous tissue and it is called articular cartilage. It provides a structure for holding or forming a binding surface for the muscle. On either end you can see this articular cartilage. And this shaft-like structure diaphysis, it's compact in nature, but it is light and strong. At the center it is hollow, forms a cavity called medullary cavity. It is rich in fat and it is called yellow bone marrow. It is lined by a fibrous connective tissue called endosteum. So this medullary cavity, this cavity is lined by a connective tissue and that is called endosteum. This periosteum holds the arteries, veins and neurons which enters into the bone tissue. So here the same thing has been written: epiphysis, articular cartilage, diaphysis, medullary cavity, periosteum and the endosteum. Now come to the microscopic structure of the bone. When you take the transverse section of the bone, you find this concentric layered structure called Harvesian structure. It consists of a central hollow cavity-like structure called Haversian canal, consists artery, vein and the neuron. Surrounding this one you find concentric layers called lamella. Each concentric layer will be having pocket-like structure and it is called lacuna, in which you find the presence of the bone cell called osteocyte. It is projected on all the sides and it's called canaliculi, through which cytoplasmic projection of osteocytes will connect with each other in this structure. This osteocyte is matured bone cell. There are 4 types of bone cells. Progenitor cell, from which the actively secreting cells such as osteoblasts are formed. And osteoblast matures into osteocyte and replacement of old bone by the new bone takes place, and that removal of old bone is carried out by another type of cells called osteoclast. So this is the structure of the bone. Thank you.